Check 1, 2, just testing my audio here. Looks a little quiet actually, if I'm being honest, but let me see what I can do about that. All right, everyone. Hello. Happy Sunday. Happy Mother's Day if it's a day for Mother's Day for you. I am just getting started. This is pretty impromptu. We've had a whole bunch of Mother's Day celebrations over here in my household that have wrapped up. And I have this thing that I want to work on that I thought of earlier today. I thought, okay, I have no ability, and I've been meaning to stream. I've been meaning to record a whole bunch of things like last week, and I didn't get to it for a variety of reasons. And I am not able to do any video recording or streaming on Monday or Tuesday of this week. Maybe Wednesday. Hopefully, certainly this next Friday I will be, because I have one. I sort of have a YouTube stream that I've scheduled for that day, and a topic to be determined. I'm just taking a peek at the chat. Music is too loud. Okay, well, don't worry. That's easily fixable. And also the music's off now, so I won't worry about it. You can hear me okay, though, I assume, yes? Audio quality is good. Whiteboard camera. This camera. Coding view. I think we're good. I really should get a monitor over there where I can see all the things that I'm doing. Although I like having it over here when I'm gesturing to the code stuff. Anyway, great, nice to see familiar names in the chat there. Oh, I just wanted to say that I noticed earlier today that Curiously Minded, it's a stream from Eliza and Alethea. They do like generative art and shader stuff. I was a guest on it last year, I guess, in 2021 at some point. And I knew they were streaming today at noon, and I thought they'd be done by now, to be honest. I just noticed, oh, they're still streaming. So I would like to say, I'm assuming that nobody just switched over from watching their stream. I'm like looking at my Twitch dashboard over here. If you did, go back, come over here when you're done there. But also, this will get archived. I waste a lot of time just chatting and kind of getting set up. So maybe you want to check out Curiously Minded. I can't do a raid right now because it would send everybody away. I don't know if I could then pull people back. It doesn't really make sense. But if I just pull up the computer here, if you're not sure what I'm talking about, let me go to Curiously Minded. XYZ, I think, is here it is. Stream, I think, if we click on this. Sunday, May 8th, 12:30. For some reason, I thought they started at noon. So they're probably wrapping up soon. I would encourage you. Computational Mama is amazing. This stream, even if you're not going to switch over and watch it now, at least switch over and subscribe. They really do amazing stuff. And I'd like to celebrate and encourage you to check out the work of Curiously Minded, Eliza, Alethea, and of course also their guest, Computational Mama. Okay. Thank you. I wore this shirt special for today's topic, although it's not entirely related. The code meteorologist vibe is exactly what I'm going for. You know, I could be just a little picture-in-picture with with a headset and a mic. That's not me. My whole thing is like, I need to move around and be free in the space of the code. All right. Let me just taking a peek here at the chat. Sound. Okay, so I do see that Makinakila is saying that there is a latency in the sound. From what I understand, this is quite common, and I unfortunately don't think it's on my end. So you could try restarting your browser, refreshing your browser. I'm seeing other people in the chat are saying that it's fine. I'm going to get to the plan. Thank you, Len Gores, for telling me about your work on the Snake Challenge. And Ricardo Kim asks, is there a way I can make some script in P5 that can run and receive data from my C# program? I have no idea. So I would need to have to think about that. So what I use as the glue between other things, whether it's hardware, other environments, network communication, is Node. So Node is a JavaScript framework for server side, or just kind of like scripts that you just run on your computer. You could use that potentially, like if you were running, let's say you were running a Unity application, and that's coded in C# and you wanted to communicate with a P5 sketch running at the same time, you could probably put Node in the middle. There might be a way to talk to them directly, but Node could certainly be in the middle. WebSockets is Mr. PhD says. All right. Wow, look, all the regulars are here. The Twitch regulars. Okay. So let me talk about the topic for today. By the way, do you see that when I set up my Open Broadcast Studio over here, let me show you the wide shot for a second. So these are all the views right now. So I'm over here. This is where my monitor is. When I set this up over here, I type something in where I put in a title for the stream. Oh, I didn't hit done. Maybe I did. I don't know. Did the title say the Monty Hall problem? Because that is the topic of today's stream. That's what I'd like to know. Okay, let me go back. This button over here. I'm going to come back to here. All right. Oh, sorry. I wish there was a way for me to figure out what to do about the Nightbot stopping people from posting links. Like maybe there is a way that obviously I could make users moderators, but I think that's kind of confusing for me to just I would be happy to allow certain people to post links. But I don't know if David, Snyder, or Kobe are here, who do have the keys to the Nightbot, who might have a suggestion. All right. Booleans FR, that is a new name that I don't recognize. Welcome. Appreciate it. And yes, curiouslyminded.xyz/stream. Here, I can even show it right here. So again, if they're still streaming, as far as I can tell, I would encourage you to go over to their stream, come back here when they're done. That's what I have to say to you. I probably won't even have gotten started yet. Thank you, David. Okay. You can restrict it to VIPs and mods. Okay, so I'm happy to make more people VIPs. I wish there was a different term. It's a little bit, doesn't really, I guess that we could kind of go train themed and you're like the first class passengers, but that's even worse than saying VIPs as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so I don't want to dilly-dally. Here's why I'm doing this. Number one is I used to teach about the Monty Hall problem in one of my courses where we did a module on spam detection and algorithms for Bayesian classification of text. So it relates to that. And I always love the problem. I love explaining it. I love going through it. It's so counterintuitive and weird, and there's lots of nice ways to make it suddenly seem more understandable. And but there's also another sort of weird side reason. Oh my God, some crazy gift bomb just happened. JSQ. And, oh, holy crud. 25 gifts? That's insane. I don't know. Oh, wait, no. Oh, not now. I know it's going to be too loud. Jaysaku, thank you. I'm playing game show music because not only is this the song I like to play when somebody gives the gift of sharing to the coding train, but it's related to the Monty Hall problem, a game show. All right. So, and thank you, Neighbors Jay, for subscribing with Prime. All right. Now, why am I doing this? So I happen to watch a television show, an American game show, reality game show called Survivor. And last season on the show, they introduced this twist to the game called the do or die twist, which is essentially the Monty Hall problem. And I believe, according to what's coming up this Wednesday, I believe that it will appear again. And I was listening to some podcasts about it. And even in the podcast I was listening to now, like, it was a big topic of discussion. Should you, I'll get to the problem and it'll come back. But I wanted to make a video about it. I wanted to see if I could have it come out this Wednesday. So I'm doing my usual, what is my usual now, recording session, sort of build a project on Twitch. We'll hand over this project to the amazing Coding Train video editor, Mathieu. And then we will try to whittle it down. What I'm hoping this will be something like a 15 to 20 minute max video that would come out as a coding challenge on the YouTube channel on Wednesday. So that's the plan. I don't know. I probably will allow myself to reference Survivor in a few sentences, and then I could pull a clip from the show. And I don't know if I'll end up using that in the video on Wednesday or not, but it's an interesting, wonderful problem all on its own. And I would like to, at the end of the video, relate it back to Bayesian text classification, and kind of as essentially, who knows whether I will get to it, if I ever will get to it, but this would be a sort of nod to, if there's interest, a future coding challenge that would be Bayesian text classification, which uses the same kind of probability that is found in the Monty Hall problem. So just out of curiosity, oh my God, the chat wasn't scrolling. Just gifting back. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Come on down. I learned programming thanks to your coding challenges. A few days ago, I got accepted as a Node.js dev to a software house. That's amazing. Which door has the goat is exactly right. Fairger is subscribed. Thank you. Regular viewers, subscribers, VIPs, and mods can post links. That is amazing. Thank you, David. And also whitelisting some domains. That's fantastic. Animated the Recomon sequence. Okay, great. So here we are. Okay, so I have to figure out, the thing is, if I had infinite time and resources, I would do a whole, not really skit or sketch at the beginning, but I would play out the Monty Hall problem and animate it all behind me. I mean, I'm here in this green screen environment anyway. I don't think, if I want the video to come out on Wednesday and I don't want to turn it into a huge production, I think that's unrealistic to do. So I think I should just use the whiteboard. That's my thing. I just want to make a mention of my new Twitter friend. Let's see if we can find who, let's see. Dr. Christian Hubicki, who runs a robotics lab in Florida, and also happens to be a former contestant on the Survivor show, has been posting all these really amazing doodles of these different algorithms for robotics control. I love this. I did not know you could do this. And there was something else here. Oh, and I guess if we scrolled all the way back, this is a really fun one. If you scrolled all the way back through his feed, he did this amazing explanation of the Monty Hall problem. I don't remember when that was. I think it was back in December. So shout out to Christian Hubicki. Okay. Looks like a bunch of people have joined. I just want to, again, just last time, I'll stop this now, shouting out that Curiously Minded is, as far as I can tell, still streaming. It was my goal to start after they had finished, but 2 hours later, they're still going. So feel free to jump over there, and then when they're done, jump back here. It's a wonderful stream from Eliza and Alethea with wonderful guest Computational Mama, CuriouslyMinded.xyz/stream. Okay. There we go. All right, so let me get started. Let me think about this. So a couple things. One thing that I'm very unsure about is, so let me just talk this through a little bit planning-wise. The obvious thing for me to do with the Monty Hall problem, which involves, I'm going to save my explanation for it when I get into the actual coding challenge. The obvious thing for me to do in terms of like Canvas and P5 would be to make a door class and have like 3 door objects, make them rectangles, write a function if I've like clicked on them that opens the door, all that kind of stuff. I wonder if I should do this with DOM elements. Like, I mean, not to like overly obsess about Wordle, but ultimately, and I have not done today's Wordle. We'll use the 3 blue, 1 brown starting word here, crane. Like, it would be nice to have, this is essentially the same kind of animation that I want, which is that I have doors that I can click on and they open and reveal something. So I assume this is not done with Canvas. I assume this is done with some kind of like, it's a div, and I could, because that would work for me, because then I could put an emoji for what's in there. And then it's also easier with the div. I can just get mouse pressed events. So maybe I should do it with divs. I could still use the P5 DOM library. And then the question is there some kind of like really simple CSS animation library that I should bring in that would do something like that? Or should I just not worry about animation? That's my question. Paper.js. I have used Paper.js, but that's, if I'm going to do Canvas, I'm doing, definitely doing P5. So this is my question, whether anybody who happens to be watching has a quick tip for how I could, I received a level 5 hype train emote. I have no idea what that means. Don't worry about animation. So that's the other thing. I should just not worry about animation, right? I should leave that for the viewer, right? I could always in the next 2 days make a nicer animated version of it that I could have ready on Wednesday for people to play with, but in the video, just have a non-animated version. Okay. I know Wordle just uses CSS for animations, but so I don't want this video to be all about like CSS animations. That would be an interesting thing for me to do, but they're inherent in CSS. So, but is there a way? So I like, what does that mean? Like, in other words, so Bruno, I'm with you, Bruno. What do you think about? Well, let me just try this. Like, this is what I'm thinking. Let's just do really quickly. Like what if I were to do, and I'm just figuring it out. I mean, this is ultimately I'm doing, this is, I don't know if this is really cheating exactly, but I'm doing what I tried not to do, which is like do a little sort of figuring out. But the math of the Monty Hall problem is the more interesting thing for me to really dedicate the coding challenge to. So I think I want to sort of like figure out the approach I'm going to take visually. So then I could do things like style, or what would I do? Like style, background. Like I am going to use the P5 DOM library, which I know some people don't love it when I do that because it's unfamiliar. So, and then I think I could do things like door one. Are those attributes? If you do like attribute with, like if I want to make it a box, or I could actually just put that, you know what I should do? This is what I should do. I should actually do it in CSS and then have it would be this, right? If it's a class, and I would say background color, and I would do something like, can I do a size here? Oh yeah. And then, oh yeah, so this is what I should do. And then, so like then I could do a function reveal. Like, and what if I put, and then I would say, oh no, I think I can just do this. And then I say this dot HTML goat. So in the Monty Hall problem, you win a goat or a car, something like that. So I think, yeah. And then obviously I need to figure out some fancy way to have the text be centered, which I know is like a huge like nightmare. I mean, that's not a thing, is it? Oh, it is. Oh, what if I just did also like padding? No. Margin. I don't, this is where I'm lost. Display flex. On reveal, you add the class name of your animation. So that I could do. What does display flex do? So this is what I'm curious about. If I did this, whoops. So what if I want them to go next to each other? They would be like, wouldn't it be like in line? Isn't that what I want? No. Sorry, hold on. I'm just going to figure this out. Margin. Right. I mean, okay. I need a parent. Why can't the parent just be the document? Flex box. Body display flex. Okay, I don't know what that means. This is... Oh, look at that. Okay, so this is great. This is what I want. So this is good. And then, you know, if I do this, anytime I click on them. So now you're saying there might be a way for me to add a quick animation just by saying like this dot class, you know, animate. Is that what you're saying? Center display, flex, justify content center, align, autumn. So I think I might like to do this video actually now that I think about it with like a sort of pre-made CSS and not have it be about that. I'm not so sure. Reveal, bind, door one. Yeah, so I can figure out that center display flex. Oh my God, what center display flex justify content center. Oh, to center. Display flex, justify content center, and then align items center. Whoop. Nope. All right. But I'm not too worried about the, you know. Whoa. What just happened? What? Oh, I gave it a different class. That's why. Oh, silly me. Sorry. I have to add a class. I have to add a class. Is there a way to do that? Add class. Okay, hold on. Let me go back to that. I delete display flex. Where? Display flex. Hold on. Where was that? Justify content center. Sorry. And then there was one more. Align items center. Sorry, I made a boo-boo. Okay, no. It needs it in here too. Oh, look at that! Look how beautiful! A little goat in there. Now, why didn't it make it, oh, font size. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now we're cooking. All right. So is there a way? So this is good. I'm good. Is there a way? And I'm going to actually wipe this and build it again. Is there a way for me to add just like an animation with like a built-in animation class? I'm going to give the chat. Yeah, I appreciate like Everlasting Media. I really appreciate all the feedback and comments about like different things I could do in CSS. I don't feel ready to veer off into this video really being about the layout and design aspects. I just want to get something basic working. So honestly, I'm happy with what I have. If there were oh my goodness, I don't know why my scrolling of the chat is not working. There are CSS animation libraries. Text-align is not needed now. Okay. Yeah, okay, this is good. Great. And just out of curiosity, no, okay, got it. Got it, I see. Got it, yeah, okay, I'm seeing what these things do. All right. Try hitting end on keyboard. Oh my God, so many gift subscriptions. Amazing. All right, so I think I'm ready to go now. I think that I will start over. And then I think I can. All right. We are going to build a Monty Hall problem. Okay, close that. Let me start recording to disk to make sure that's working. Okay, recording to disk, that's working. Let me make sure that the whiteboard view is in focus, and I'm definitely going to want multicolored markers. So let me get a few. Okay. Now, one thing I want to just look at is I have some old notes from one of my classes to just remind me about. Oh, and sorry, I'm in the wrong view. This is going to happen often, by the way, if this is your first time tuning in. I wanted to look at this reference just really quickly. Yeah, because I think I want to come back to this at the end. Just looking at these formulas, or at a minimum, I can just put it as extra information in the video. Okay. I don't even know what the F1 is. Is that a car racing thing? All right, so it's going to be a goat, or a train. Like the train is what you want to win. All right, so all right, thank you, Neville Style. All these people are subscribing today. It's amazing, and there's 100 people watching. I don't know what's going on here on Twitch. Nobody, go and call your mothers, people. All right, I'm going to get this going. I'm kind of a little bit lost as to where to start. And I have not planned or prepared this at all, which is a little bit of a problem. But I think I used to teach this, but I probably haven't since 2000, like 10 years. Like I used to do a whole class about Bayesian probability and the Monty Hall problem, but I'm like completely out of practice. All right, but I'm not charging. Why isn't this iPad charging? Okay, come on. It's fine. Fine. All right, I'm recording to disk. I'm talking to all of you. I'm looking at the chat. Train coming behind the door, coming in our direction. That seems dangerous here. Don't worry, it'll be going sideways. It'll be stationary. All right, let me move my coffee out of the way. So my idea for how this video might open would be like, hello and welcome to Let's Make a Deal. Well, I'm trying to think of like what's a coding train version of Let's Make a Deal. Like what's I mean, I'm not going to play the music now because I guess I could so you could hear it, but it's coming out through the speakers and it'll get recorded. I'm gonna put that in post. I'm just playing to you what I'm gonna put in. What's a good like? Let's make a choo choo. Should it be that? Welcome to Let's Make a. Today's prize is a trip on the Coding Train Express. There are 3 doors here. All right, how's this sound? This is good. This is good. Let's make a pun now. All right. I'm gonna improv this. Ready? The music really helps get me in the mood here, but I think I don't want it to come in through the mic, so I will do it without it. Porta dos Desperados. Fascinating. Okay. So this background you can ignore. It's just up there right now. So, okay. Toot toot. All right, here we go. Hello and welcome to Let's Make a... On today's show, No, okay, hold on. On today's show. Hello and welcome to Let's Make a... I already forgot what I was going to say next. Today's prize. That's what it is. Hello and welcome to Let's Make a... That was a little bit weird. Today's... Doesn't make any sense. It sounds like let's make a toot toot. That sounds, I don't know, wrong somehow. Hello and welcome to Let's Make a Deal. Today's prize is a trip on the Coding Train Express. I've got 3 doors here. Behind one of these doors is, okay, I don't need to say the prize until, okay. 3 train cars? No, let's just do it as doors. All right. Hello and welcome to Let's Make a Deal. Behind these 3 doors. Oh, behind one of these 3 doors. Darn it! I couldn't get this. We got to do some coding today, I swear. Hello and welcome to Let's Make a Deal. Behind these 3 doors. Behind one of these 3 doors. Ah! Okay, I got it. I got everybody. Hello and welcome to Let's Make a Deal. Behind one of these 3 doors is today's prize, a trip on the Coding Train Express. Behind the other 2 doors is a goat. It's up to you to pick one of these doors. Which one will you pick? I can hear the people of the internet shouting out to me, door number 3. Let's reveal. No, we don't want to reveal what's. I can hear the people of the internet shouting out to me, door number 3. But before I reveal what's behind door number 3, let me show you what's behind door number 1. A goat. And I have a question. Now I'd like to offer you a chance. Now I'd like to offer you the chance to switch. Are you happy with your choice, door number 3, or would you like to switch to door number 2? Which shall you do? Let's make a probability puzzle. I like that. Let's choose a carriage. That's pretty good too. Now I'm going to offer you a one-time only chance to switch. Do you want to switch to door number 2, or do you want to keep door number 3? Think about it. Which should you do? Think about it. Should you switch? What is the probability that the prize, the trip on the Coding Train Express, is under door number 3? Should you switch? What is the probability that the prize is behind door number 3? And what is the probability that the prize is behind door number 2? This is the classic Monty Hall problem, originally from... This is the classic Monty Hall problem, which originated in the American television show Let's Make a Deal back in, I don't know, the 1970s? This is the classic Monty Hall problem, which originated in the American television show Let's Make a Deal back in the 1970s. So before I reveal what's behind these doors, there's nothing actually... Before I reveal what's behind these doors, well, there's actually nothing behind these doors. There aren't even doors at all. This is just pretend. Make a poll. Yeah, I should. The answer to the problem is you should absolutely switch. If you switch, you will have a 2 out of 3 chance, a 66.6666666% chance of the prize being behind door number 2. There is only a 1 out of 3 chance that the prize is behind the original door number 1. This might seem counterintuitive. Shouldn't it just be 50-50? There's 2 of them. It's definitely not behind door number 1, so it's either behind door number 2 or door number 3. That's 2 doors, 50-50 chance. No, that is not the case. So in today's coding challenge, I'm going to first explain why the probability, why this is the case, and then we're going to build a short... I feel like I just want to do this whole thing again, because I now have an idea of what I'm doing. I've got some water over there, which is why I'm walking over there and doing like a weird... Okay. In today's coding challenge, I'm going to first explain to you why you absolutely should switch, why you have a 2 out of 3 chance of winning the prize if you switch, and only a 1 out of 3 chance by staying put. And then I'm going to code a simple P5JS, and then I'm going to code a simple P5JS simulation of the game that you can play over and over again to test your different theories about what the proper strategy and probabilities might be. All right. I think that's enough. Yeah, I know. I do stuff out of order. This is a great. Adam Fighter is giving me a great suggestion there. Adam Fighter, I don't know if you noticed, you were featured in the local storage video, but I think that's enough for the opening. Yeah. Okay. So how am I doing here? Let me hit a little quick stop and start. Stop recording, start recording. And I'm going to switch over to the whiteboard now. All right, so I don't see the chat, just so you know. I'm going to work through a quick explanation of the problem again. We'll see what I end up using. All right. Once again, here's the scenario. There are 3 doors. Now, the host knows which Now the host, in which case I'm playing the part of the host, knows where the prize is. So let's just say, for sake of argument, that the prize is behind door number 2. Can I draw a train? And behind doors number 1 and 3 are goats. I'm really going to have to draw a goat now, aren't I? This is going to be really bad. Those are more like cats, but what are you going to do? Now, let's assume that the player picks door number 1. Remember, the host, me or Monty Hall, knows where the prize is. So the host has to reveal door number 3. The host can't reveal door number 2 because it would give it all away. No matter which option you pick, no matter which option the player picks, there will always be at least one other goat. If you pick a goat, there'll only be one other goat. If you pick the train, then there's 2 other goats that the host can pick from. So this is now revealed to be a goat. Now we can see here, oh, for sure, the contestant should switch, right? Absolutely, the contestant. So we can see here, yes, the contestant absolutely must switch because we know where the train is. But of course, the player doesn't know that. So why is it that the probability increases if the player does, in fact, switch? Let's look at all the possible scenarios. I have to remember how I used to run this through. I think I can use this configuration. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to start again over here. I'm just thinking here. So we have doors 1, 2, and 3. The prize is behind door number 2. there are only 3 possible ways this game could start. The player could pick door number 1, the player could pick door number 2, or the player could pick door number 3. If the player picks door number 1, then the host reveals door number 3. And if the player switches, sorry, let me do this again. I'm realizing what I'm trying to think. There's got to be a better way for me to diagram this. In my head, I understand what I'm thinking. Oh, microfiber cloth doesn't work as well as I think it's going to. Yeah, I think I can actually leave this here. Let's use this exact scenario and play out all the possible outcomes. So starting with, let's use this. I'm just going to check the chat to make sure there's no, like, it's out of focus or, yeah, I'm going to get to Bayes' theorem, but I want to, I'm just taking a peek at the chat. I'm going to get to Bayes' theorem, but I want to do this without that probability first. I just want to work it out. All right. Using this, I'm going to use this scenario and build a table of all the possible ways this particular game could play out. So the first column is which door is picked. The second column is which door is revealed. And the third column is, did you win if you switch? So we're going to assume, I know in advance you should switch. So we're going to assume the player will always switch and see how often they win. So there are only 3 possible doors that can be picked to start. 1, 2, or 3. So let's say that the player picks door number 1. We know that Monty has to reveal door number 3 because it's the only door left with a goat. And then we know that if the player switches, they will win. Now let's say Monty picks door number 2. No, sorry. Now let's say the player starts with door number 2. Well, now Monty can reveal 1 or 3. It doesn't actually matter, and it doesn't affect the outcome. So let's just say Monty reveals door number 1. Does the player win? No, so this goat is now shown to the player. So this goat is now shown to the player. What am I doing next? So this goat is now shown to the player. The player switches from picking door number 2 to door number 3. Did they win? No. Now let's say the player starts by picking door number 3. Monty has to reveal door number 1, the only remaining door with a goat. And I'm just going to put or 3 here just to be more clear. And then if the player switches from door number 3 to the remaining door number 2, do they win? Yes. So look at this. By switching 2 out of 3 times, no matter what you start. So looking at this, if you originally pick a goat, right, which you will pick 2 out of 3 times, then by switching, you will always get the prize. You only pick the prize 1 out of 3 times originally, so by switching, you end up with the goat. If I haven't convinced you yet, I'm going to show you this problem again in if I haven't convinced, let me just actually look at the chat to make sure. See, how is that? How's this explanation? I can show it in a tree of possibilities. That's kind of good too. I'm biased, but I like it. I'm just wondering if I should switch to like a tree. That's kind of interesting. Diagram it a different way. Sorry that I know you can't see me. The tree moving from left to right. No, you don't have to. I know what I realized here is that is a little bit confusing is I'm making by saying like the host could reveal one of these, either of these, like that's not an extra thing. That's just, it doesn't actually affect the outcome, which one they reveal. So I'm just trying to think if like I did this if these are the rows, or if, let me just think about this for a second. So like, you're saying like if we pick, so like the diagram could be something like you pick door number 1, or you pick door number 2, or you pick door number 3. And then, yeah, I think this works actually for me. I was going to do a follow-up step, which I think will make it even more clear why you should, and then we'll prove it by running the simulation many times. What's confusing is that you have a check mark on card 1 and a goat written on card 3. Yes. All right, let me start when it's goat, prize, goat. Yes. Because that's what all right, thank you. Yeah, let me actually try just doing this whole thing again. This is kind of the most important part of the video. And I agree with you that this check mark, and am I recording to disk just to make sure? Yes. All right. I think there's probably a way I could use multicolored markers here. Oh, I actually shouldn't have gone all the way back, but that's fine. I'm going to do this explanation again. Just because I have a better sense of how to do it now. Okay. All right. I lost my train of thought. I guess I'm going to leave the view. I'll make the whiteboard bigger for you all, and have a little sip of my coffee over here. Doors on left side, then table, so the door numbers are near the table's door numbers. I didn't fully understand that. Doors on left side, then table. Oh, yes. I see what you mean. So the door numbers are near the yeah. All right. I think you're right. Like, let me start by putting the doors here, and then I'll build the table over here, which would make more sense. When I started, I didn't really have a sense of where I was going. Okay. Let's recap the problem. We've got 3 doors. Behind one of these doors is a prize, a train. Let's say it's behind door number 2. There, that's my train. Then behind doors 1 and 3 is a goat. I'm going to have to draw a goat now. This is not going to go well. It's kind of more like a cat, but oh well. It's more like a cat, but it'll have to do. It's important to remember that the host, played by me or Monty Hall really, knows where the prize is. Let's think about all the possible ways this game could play out and build a table describing those ways and look at how often does the player win if they switch and how often do they win if they don't switch. Yeah, I think I should put you're right, I should make these columns. All right, so what are the stages? First, there's the player's pick. Then there's the door that's revealed. Why don't this marker is bad? I had a better marker a second ago. I hate myself. First, there's the player's pick. Then there's the door revealed by the host. Then there's the question of, does the player switch or not? And of course, we have the question, do they win? All right, let's say the player starts by picking door number 1. The host then, knowing that the prize is in door number 2, has to reveal door number 3 to show a goat. Now remember, the players picked door number 1. If they switch, they'll be switching to door number 2. Let's just assume for the sake of argument that the player is always going to switch. Let's look at how often the player wins when they always switch. So yes, the player switches. Did the player win? Yes, the player wins. Check. Now let's look at the scenario where the player starts by picking door number 2. Now, this is an interesting scenario because if the player has picked door number 2, Monty Hall has to reveal one of a door that has a goat behind it. It could be either 1 or 3. So let's just say that Monty Hall reveals door number 3 this time. Again, we've got another door number 3. Remember, the player has picked door number 2. Should they switch to door number 1? We know they shouldn't, but let's say in the scenario they do. So yes, they switch, and no, they do not win. The last possibility here is that the player starts by picking door number 3. They pick door number 3. Monty Hall has to reveal door number 1, the only other door with a goat behind it. The player switches, switching to door number 2, and yes, they win. There's only 3 ways this game can play out. The player starting by picking door number 1, starting by picking door number 2, or starting by picking door number 3. If the player always switches, the player will win 2 out of 3 times. Think about it. If I were to say to you, you could pick, there's another way to think about this. Think about it this way. Remember, you don't know where the prizes are. You pick door number 1. And I'm going to say to you now, well, would you like to keep door number 1? Or would you like to win if it's behind either doors 2 or 3? Either one. You can have 2 doors. You don't need just 1 door. Stick with just 1 door, or would you like 2 doors? That's exactly what this problem is. You would want to pick 2 doors because it's more likely 2 out of 3 times to be behind one of these 2 doors than the original one that you picked. Let's look at it one more way. Get a better eraser here. I'm going to show you 100 doors. They're starting to look more like D's than doors. This is like when I did Sudoku. I don't think I should have done 100. 1, 2, 3. All right, fine. Let's just do 50 doors. I don't feel like drawing the rest. Pick any one of these doors. Any one of these doors. There's only a prize behind one of them. $1 million is behind one of these. There's only a prize behind one of them. This train ride, this glorious train ride you're going to win is somewhere behind one of these 50 doors. Oh, you want to pick this one? Okay. You pick this one. I'll color it in purple to indicate it's the one you picked. Well, guess what? I am now going to show you all of the doors where there is no prize, where there's a goat. What? Actually, let me... Now, I'm going to reveal to you that there's a goat behind 48 other doors. Would you like now to switch to this door and see if the prize is there? Or would you like to keep your original door? I mean, hello, you're going to want to switch to this door, right? What's the chance that the prize happens to be your 1 out of 50 chance that you happen to just pick? Or I revealed all of these other, I mean, it could be there could be a goat here, but I know all of these are goats, so I'm going to leave one open. If you didn't pick the prize, I have to leave the one with the prize open. Would you want to switch? I think you would. There is also a precise mathematical formula I don't know how to say this. There's also a precise mathematical formula known as the Bayes theorem. Is it the Bayes theorem? I don't know how to say it though. Let me just look. What is it? Bayesian theorem, yeah. There's also a precise mathematical formula. There's also a precise way we could, there's also a way through mathematical, there's also a very specific probability analysis known as the Bayes theorem that we could apply to show this exact 2 out of 3 probability, or in this case, it would be a 49 out of 50 probability, I guess. You have a 1 in 50 chance, right? You have a 1 in 50 chance of your original pick and a 49 out of 50 chance of it being you have a 1 out of 50 chance of it being the original pick and a 49 out of 50 chance of it being this one should you switch. You have a 1 out of 50 chance of it being your original pick, or if you switch, you have a 49 out of 50 chance of winning. And coming back here. And going to here. Bring this over. But you're probably not here because you want to listen to me drone on about Bayes theorem and continuing to diagram on the whiteboard. What if we build a version of the Monty Hall problem in code in P5.js? All right, let me just. I'm going to just. But you're probably not here wanting to listen to me drone on and diagram on the whiteboard about probability and the Monty Hall problem. We could build a P5.js sketch in code that simulates the Monty Hall problem, run it thousands of times, and see if my analysis proves to be correct. Yes. And also, by the way, who is to say that the goat isn't the true prize after all? I would love to have some wonderful, beautiful goats. Thank you, Adam Fighter, for that. All right. My usual approach to this would be to start drawing doors in the canvas and checking where the mouse is clicking, but I think I'd actually like to try this with DOM elements, meaning HTML elements that are not canvases that appear on a web page, which if you didn't know, you could also do in P5. So I'm actually going to do something quite exciting here and say no canvas. I'm going to write a little loop to create 3 doors. Let's make an array to hold the data for those 3 doors. And each door will be a div on the web page. Let's start by putting a goat in each one. And then I will pick one randomly and put the prize there. So every time I run this sketch, we've got 3 doors and we've got 3. So every time I run this sketch, I'm seeing. So every time I run this sketch, I see 3 emojis, only one of which is a train. Now, of course, they're really tiny. So let's work on some designy things. Let's create a class called door. And this is not a... Let's create a class called door. Now, this is a CSS class. That means it is a named entity. How do I want to say this? So hard. Let's create a CSS class. A CSS class is a way of designating a particular set of styles to be applied to any element on the web page. This isn't a full lesson about CSS, obviously. I barely know CSS, but I will put resources in the video description and up on the screen here, as well as some other videos I have that go through CSS in a bit more detail. But right here in the P5 web editor, I can go over to the style.css file. I can create a door class, and I can start to add some properties to it. Now, what I would really like to do is center those emojis in the div. And this, by the way, now what I'd really like to do is center those emojis in the div. Thankfully, the live Twitch chat that's watching along here has given me some tips of how to do this. I've already forgotten what they are. I have to scroll back up. Can anybody put them in again for me? Thank you. Not Robster did. Okay. There was one more. There was one more. What was it? Align items. Thank you. Let's make the emojis a little bit bigger. Let's put a little margin between the divs. And I want to see them in a row, so I think I can add display flex to the body. Great. Now we've got our 3 doors there. I'm trying to think. Now, what do I want to do? I don't want to hide the div. I want to hide the content. So I think what I could do, all right. So the truth is, the tricky thing here is, while I want to create the div with, the tricky thing here is I want to make a div that knows whether it's a goat or a train, but I don't want to reveal that goat or train. I could create my own wrapper, I could create a door class that has a div, but I think since these are just JavaScript objects, a P5 element, I can attach other properties to them. So I'm going to make the div with no text. And instead, I'll add a new property called prize, which is by default a goat. Let's call this winning door. And I'll say the winning door's prize is the train. So now I have 3 doors. Behind the scenes, there's a variable attached to each of those divs that's holding on to either a goat or a train, but the viewer, the player, I cannot see which one is which. Now what I want to do is attach an event to each door to do something when I click on it. The clicking on the door will be the act of selecting that one. I can do this with the P5 event mouse pressed. And whenever the mouse is pressed, I want to execute a function. I'll call it reveal. Monty Python. Yeah. Now I just need to write that event function reveal. One of the nice things that P5 does behind the scenes is it binds that particular function reveal to the DOM element that was triggered by the event. So, and that binding is embedded inside the keyword this. I have a whole video all about the this keyword and how this works. But for now, what you will see is if I just say this, if I just say console log this.prize, when I click on each door, we'll see the prize in the console. That one's a goat. That one's also a goat. And that one's the train. Running it one more time, we see we have goat, goat, train, goat. Let me just do that again. Running it one more time, we have train, goat, goat. But when I click, ooh, right. So now I need something, So now I need something to keep track of the state, right? There's the moment I pick, there's the moment I reveal, there's the moment I switch, and then whether I win or not. So let's create a variable called state to keep track of the game state. And we're going to start with pick, meaning we're waiting for the player to pick. Now, I'm going to keep this console log here, which will help me know what's going on. After, and this actually isn't what we want to do. And this reveal is a little bit of a misnomer, actually, because we don't want to reveal the one that we picked. We want to reveal a different one that has a goat behind it. So something that would help me a little bit is to also have each div know its index into the array. So the div also, so here the div also has a property called index that I'm storing. Where is it in the doors array? So when I click, I should see 0, 1, 2, 1, 2, 0, etc. So once I've picked, yeah. So once I've picked, I need Monty Hall to reveal one of the other doors. So the old So Monty Hall needs to know which doors can. So Monty Hall needs to know which doors can they reveal. We'll make a new array called options. As long as it's not the door that the player picked, and the prize is not the train, and I can make this a little less wordy with a for of loop here. Oh no. No, I can't, because now I've lost the I. I can't do that. I can make this a little less wordy by putting the door in a separate variable. I'm so confused. No. This is not right. Oh, this. As long as I is not this dot index. Right. I don't know. I was so confused there. As long as the door I'm looking at is not the one that was clicked on, and that door is not the prize, then it's something that could be revealed. Now remember, if the player didn't pick the right door in the first place, there's only going to be one thing left in the options. But I need to check all the possibilities, because if they did pick the prize, then Monty Hall can choose to reveal one of two doors. But we'll pick one of the options randomly. If there's just one, there's only one it can pick. And we will we will put in the div the actual prize itself. Okay, I'm going to pick door number 1, and we should see a goat appear in either door 2 or 3. What did I do wrong? Oh, I did it if it's... I have to say if it's not equal to the train. Okay, that was a disaster. Let's try this again. I'm going to pick door number 1. There's that goat. Let's run it again. There's the goat. There's the goat. So we always will see a goat no matter what I pick. Now, again, I'm not putting any niceties in here about like and animation and like slowly building the drama of revealing it. Those are things I hope you, the viewer watching, might take this code and add to it. But I'm just trying to get the crude, raw version of it working. Yeah, that'll definitely be in the video. That's stuff I don't take out. The whole point is keeping all the errors in. All right, so now we need to ask, okay, so one thing we should do, I think also, is another thing I think I should add here is something to indicate which door was picked. So let's put a little green. So that's highlighting which one I've picked. So now the question is, I think I could use some interaction design help here, but now I need some way of indicating whether I should switch or not. I should probably add a hover to these. So let's create a button. Oh, I can't use the variable name switch. That's a keyword in JavaScript. Well, that's awkward. I guess I could just have the user click a second time. Like if I want to keep it. I mean, would it make sense to just hover over these to click one more time? What do you all think? Pick, then reveal. Yeah. I understand. That's a really good comment, DJ Mangus. The problem is, let me maybe refactor this in a moment. The issue is the revealing happens at the moment you pick. So I guess I could say, you're saying like call this pick and then say like reveal options, like pass those options. And then put this stuff in another function. Prompt switch. I do appreciate this comment. Then I would have another function called reveal. I'm thinking about this, but I think that's more of something that I didn't go and refactor to like keep the code. What did I just do here? Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I see what you mean. But the thing is, though, it would ultimately just be doing this. Which I feel like is maybe more confusing. That's kind of like what I would do. And then this would be like, so I don't know how helpful that really is. But I do see your point. Extra variable. All right. Oh, sorry. There's a lot of different discussions going on, which are very helpful. But what I'm trying to figure out is I can refactor and reorganize this. I think that is a good point. I think I might do that. But this is not the issue that I'm up against right now. The issue that I'm up against right now is, do I want to, as soon as you pick, have a button that's saying like, do I switch? And then if I switch, oh, it has to be like switch. It's like I have to say switch yes or no. Oh, switch or, oh, I could have two buttons, right? Switch, but this is kind of like weird. Or stay button. Why are these buttons like showing up in such a weird way? But I wonder if I should just, is this better or do I want to like click again? That's the question. Because of the flex. Yeah. I mean, I don't care. Like, this can be designed better and people watching will design it better. But I can't get rid of the flex. Right? If I get rid of the flex. Oh, I could have a container div. I mean, that's the thing. I want to keep this stupidly simple. I think it's fine. Yeah. Just add a break. Yeah. Yeah. But why are they all like weirdly, because they're not part of the door class. Why are they so like tall? Like, all right, let's try it. Let's just try this. Okay. Oh, that's weird. Body is flex. Yeah, I need a stupid container, which I really don't want to do. I mean, I guess I could do that really quickly. I guess I'll do that. All right, I'll do that. Stay or switch. Yeah. Okay. Oh, man. This is where I last left off, right? Okay. I really hate. Um, Buttons are fine. All right, I'm gonna just keep going. I'm not gonna worry. You're not gonna get the whole point of this is not the interaction design. All right. Now is really the moment where some animation or sort of thought. Now is really the moment where some animation or some thoughtful interaction design would be a great addition. And I hope you, the viewer, will take this code and make a more will make a more intuitive and smooth way of playing out this game. But I'm just going to really quickly toss in a couple buttons. One button for if you want to switch doors, or a different button if you want to stay put. So when I click on any of the doors, those two buttons will now suddenly appear. Now they look a little weird here because I have this CSS display property as flex in the entire body. So probably I should make a container for the doors. Why is there this main here? So I'm going to manually put in a div called doors. Reference the ID with the hash symbol. Put the flex display there. And then I can could put the door divs in. Then I can put the door divs in the doors container by using the p5 parent function. Then my buttons look a little bit more normal there just on the next line. They are kind of small, so let me make the font size a bit bigger. And give them a little margin. Okay, again, very crude interaction design, but now I can choose whether I want to switch or stay. This is also maybe a good moment for me to, now that I've got some code worked out, kind of refactor it. Like maybe it would be nice to look at the code to see there's a pick function, a reveal function, a switch function, and then a win function. Right now, I only have a reveal function, which is kind of doing both of these first two steps. So when I click on a door, what I'm really doing is picking that door. And let's have a variable called pick door, which is set equal to this, right? What the door that was clicked on, the div that was clicked on, which is in the div that was clicked on, which is held in the keyword this, based on p5 binding it to the mouse pressed event. Then I can call reveal. Reveal looks out of the doors and figures out what are the ones that can be revealed, as long as it's not the prize or the picked doors index. Those are options. This setting it to green is really a thing we're doing when we're picking the door. And then here we are revealing the doors. And here we are then revealing the door and here we are revealing one of the other doors that has a goat, creating the buttons, and the buttons event will be the switch function. trying to like, what do I need to do in player switch? So if the player switches, the pick door I need this door reveal. I need this door reveal. Return true or false. That's interesting. I mean, the thing is here, I really should be using like a I need to know which one was revealed. So I could just use global variables. I'm going to make the door that was revealed also a global variable. So if the player switches, I just need to assign the pick door to the door. So if the player switches, I need to reassign pick door to the door that wasn't picked and wasn't revealed. Oh, do you know what the problem is? I want to redo this. I wanted to redo this to suddenly have more than just 3 doors. And this is not going to work because it's like based on the fact that there's only one revealed door. But I can make that into an array. I'll deal with that later. Okay. I kind of hate the way I've programmed this, but alas. All right. So by switching, the new pick is the door that hasn't been picked or revealed. And that is now the picked door. And then we have to check, did I win? We'll call a function called check win. And the player stay means actually you don't switch, so just go right to this check win function. And let's also reveal all the prizes. All right, here we go. I'm going to pick door number 1. Uh-oh, I got an error. Oh, I renamed the function to pick door. No, that's right. Door reveal not being defined. Pick door. Oh, I don't remember when I made this mistake, but I called it revealed door and then said door reveal. So the revealed door is the one that I want to put the new content in. Okay, here we go. I'm going to pick this door. Oh, what's going on? Oh, and then reveal door.prize. Okay, finally I'm going to get it. I'm going to pick this door. All right, it's showing me the goat. So I could switch or I could stay. Let's try switching. All right, so, and I won. So this, I think this should be a different color. Or, okay, wait, hold on. I'm going to make this blue just to show that I've selected it. Green meaning I won. Pick this door. I'm going to switch, and I won. And let's get rid of the blue after I switch. I think I have everything now. I'm going to pick a door. I'm going to switch. And I lost. I'm going to play again. I'm going to pick a door. I'm going to switch. And I won. Yeah, never hid the switch hide buttons. Yeah. Yeah. I need to fix all those things. It's working. It's working. Could use a lot of improvement. Let's clean up just a few things. One is I have this wonderful state variable that I never bothered to change. So the moment I pick the door, I should change the state. The state, and I made it a const for some reason, which it shouldn't be. So I'm changing the state to reveal. The reason why this is important is that picking event should only happen if the state is pick. So now if I were to click again in the middle of the game, it wouldn't change anything that's happening. This code would not execute. I am probably overusing global variables here, but it would be helpful to actually have these buttons be global variables that I could just show or hide as needed. So I'm actually going to take these and put them in setup. hide them, and then just show them when it's time to prompt the user. Then, after the player has either chosen to switch or stay, I can hide those buttons again. Pick a door, switch, and I won. Yeah, I'm getting there, American 2050. Let's have the you win message sort of fit with the style. Let's add some CSS for the you win message. And let's create a play again button. Now, of course, a lot of these DOM elements don't need to be generated with P5 functions. In a properly designed page, you might want to do all of this with HTML and CSS, but this is just a quick way that I'm doing it to get this going. But to play again, and to finish off this play again, but that said, to finish off this play again button, I need to write the start over function. What do we do to start over? Well, we need to pick a new prize again. Start them all off as goats. Pick a random one to be the winner. Now that I've done this, I actually don't need to do this here in setup anymore. I can just say start over. And I should also make sure I clear anything. I should also make sure I clear any background color or text that was in the div. And hide the play again button. All right, let's see if this works. I'm going to pick door number 1. I'm going to switch. Whoop. I think I forgot to show the play again button. Play again, .show. One more time. Let's pick door number 3 and let's switch. I won. Let's play again. Still says you win there. All right, I need a permanent place for the win or lose message. Call that outcome P for outcome paragraph. Definitely need to clear it when we start over. In setup, need to create it. And then the message, instead of creating a new paragraph, we just put it in the existing one. All right, ready for this? All right. All right, I'm going to pick door number 2. I never seem to pick door number 2 to start. The goat is revealed as door number 3. Should I switch? Should I stay? I'm going to switch. Oops, what just happened there? Oh. Nice little typo there. I would have lost. So good thing I got that error. I'm going to pick door number 2. The goat is revealed as door number 1. I'm going to switch. And I won. Let's play again. I'm going to pick door number 3. No, it's not working. Oh, I've got to set the state back to pick. So I'm not really using this state variable. So ultimately, I don't know if I really needed this state variable, or I'm certainly not using it very effectively because I only have it as pick or not pick, essentially. But I'll let you figure out how to improve that in your own version of this. But when I start over, I definitely need to set the state back to pick. Here we go. I'm going to pick door number 2. I'm going to switch. I'm going to play again. I'm going to pick door number 1. I'm going to switch. I'm going to play again and pick door number 3. I'm going to switch. I'm going to play again. Door 1 and switch. I am just winning over and over again. I am so good at this game. So I'm trying to think here. So I'm ready to wrap this up. I mean, what I really would like to do, and I'll create a version of it that just picks automatically and switches automatically, running it, hundreds of times per second. And I'm showing that to you right now over here. But what I'm going to do in this video itself is just add some code to track the win rate for switching and the win rate for staying put. And if the math that I demonstrated at the beginning of the video is correct, we should see a win rate of approximately 2 out of 3 times for switching and 1 out of 3 times for staying put. So I need a variable for total plays. Total switches. Actually, I don't need the total plays. I need to know, yeah, I need to know how many times did I switch and how many times did I stay. So I'll call that total switch plays. Awkward variable names. Then I need switch wins and stay wins. Every time the player switches, I need to increase the number of switch plays. Every time the player stays, but I don't have a function for staying. So let me actually go and put that in. So instead of when you stay going directly to check win, let's write a player stay function. And the only thing that happens in that function is we increase the number of total stay plays and then go to check wins. Oh, but when I check the win, how do I know whether I switched or not? Yeah. I haven't tested the stay button yet. No, I should test that. And this is a typo here. All right, again, so much to refactor later. But let's introduce another variable. Oh, no, I don't need another variable. I know exactly what to do. The check win function can receive an argument. Did the player switch or not? So when the player stays, we can say check win false. When the player switches, we can say check win true. And then so many ridiculous if statements. If the player, what did I call it? Player switch. If the player switch, should be player switched. If the player switched, total switch wins plus plus. Otherwise, total stay wins plus plus. And then if the player loses, I'm not keeping track of the number of losses. By definition, that's the difference between the total plays and the number of wins. So I think I'm good. I just need to put the stats up in some... I just need to put the stats on the page itself. So another paragraph element. Call it results. Another paragraph element. And here, let's show the win rates. The switch rate is the total switch wins divided by the total switch plays. The stay rate is the total stay wins divided by the total stay plays. Then I can use a nice template literal to display a nicely formatted message with the data that is in those variables. Put this down here. And for the win rate and for the win rates, I want those to appear as percentages. So I'll multiply them by 100. And then I can use the P5 number format function to only show it to 2 decimal places. All right, I think we might be finished with this. Let's see if I have any errors. I'm going to pick door number 1. I'm going to switch. And the total switches is 1. The switch, oh, I forgot that this is HTML. So even though I put these nice line breaks in here, that means absolutely nothing. I need to put actual line breaks. And let's give myself more space to see the canvas. And here we go. I'm going to just play this a lot of times now. All right. After playing 22 times, after playing 44 times, I switched 22 times. I stayed 22 times. You can see my switch win rate is about 68% and my stay win rate is about 41%. So obviously I've gotten extra lucky on both, quite a bit luckier for staying. That should really be at 1/3. 68 is quite close to 2/3. But the math that we started with is what we're seeing play out here in playing the game over and over again. Oh, that's interesting, using map. This would also be, by the way, a really great opportunity to use local storage. So if I stop the sketch and start it up again, I could see I would then see all of the plays that I did before. I'll leave that as an exercise to the viewer, but if you've never used local, I did happen to just make a whole tutorial about local storage. So if you want to go watch that, then come back to this. I'll leave it as an exercise to the viewer. Maybe I'll add it in to and I will add an extra code example for this video with local storage implemented. Hold on, what else do I want to say here? I've also got to, if I haven't actually played a game, I get a divide by 0 error. That I'm sure that's probably something that I should address. But as long as I play one, as long as I play one switch and one stay, the error will go away. All right. So let's come back to this. All right, let me erase. I'm going to hit stop and start. Oh, you're not seeing me here. Let me erase the whiteboard. So I don't know if it's worth including, but I want to just quickly this is me actually using Windex to clean this whiteboard, which seems to be the only effective way to do it quickly. I don't know why none of my actual whiteboard erasers or this nice microfiber cloth that I bought. So here I am just using paper towels and Windex. Probably water would be just as effective. So, to be honest, I'm going to have to completely look at this to remind myself. Bayes theorem. Okay, so I erased the whiteboard. I'm back here. This is Bayes theorem and then Monty Hall. What are the different... Probability C of A is the probability he opens door C given the prize is behind A. This is the one I want to look. This is the scenario I want to look at. All right, let's write out. Let's look at this. I might have to do this twice. Oops, wrong marker. Yeah, they're independent. That's absolutely right. American 2050, that's not, it's a little bit weird the way I did that. It's not, but they're not related. They won't add to 100. They're independent things. Okay. Yeah, I'm still recording. I did. Thank you, DJ Magnus. Okay. So let me put out okay. Now, if you stuck around for the end of this video, I have a little bonus for you. I'm going to try to before I leave you, let me attempt to tie everything I've done to Bayes' theorem. I need a visual reference for this. Well, let me do this. I think if I do this, I can see P, A, B, yeah. This is the famous Bayes probability theorem. Probability that. Let's first talk about what this notation is. So if I ever say something like P of A, B, this means the probability of A occurring given B. So for example, what's the probability that I will remember to, well, I'm trying to think of what's a better example of this. I was going to do something with weather. Like, what's the probability that I will get wet if it's raining? I really do. I'm not qualified to explain this because it's like funny. This is like one of the things that I was really into for a while, and I had this all at my fingertips. Let's take a look at the Wikipedia page to just give myself a little bit more background here. Unless the roof is leaking. Probability of event based on prior knowledge of conditions that might be related to the event. That's the idea here. Okay. Bayesian inference. Okay. Yeah, cancer rate. Like, I don't want to use that. What's a classic example? Right. Conditional probability. The probability of event A occurring that B is true. It's also called the posterior probabilities during A and B respectively without any given conditions. A and B must be different events. All right. Let me clarify this. Oops, sorry. Okay. Let me first address let me, oh, sorry, I need a tissue. Let me first address what is meant by the notation here. So if we say something like P of A. This is the probability of the event A occurring. So if I'm flipping a coin and the event A is it landing on heads, the probability of A is 50%, 1 out of 2 times. This notation here, PA line B, this is known as conditional probability. Meaning there are 2 events, A and B. What's the probability of A occurring given B occurring? A and B must be in A and B are 2 independent events. But Bayesian inference is the idea of determining what is the probability of one of the events occurring given prior knowledge of a previous event. So now that I've gotten all that out, probably you know the curriculum given you pass the test. Oh my goodness. You guys are giving me some good examples here. So what I'm just trying to figure out now, I like the probability that you know something if you pass the test kind of thing. That's kind of interesting. Okay, but what I want to do is I don't know why I was trying to avoid the disease sort of example because it's kind of dark, a little dark. But it is kind of a good one for this. Right, P, you switched. What's the probability you win? Yes, thank you. That's what I was looking for. Man, you just saved me. So let me think about this. So we want to know the probability that you win if you switched. So the probability that you would switch is 100%. The probability that you win independently was 1/3. Because you're thinking, oh, no. Yeah, what? No, I'm lost. This is the probability. So if this is the probability that if you switched, you win, this is the probability that you switched, given that you won, I'm lost. I have to go back to this here. The probability that this is written in a different notation. I know you can't. I'm looking at this. The probability. Oh, let me try to read this. Someone's going to explain this to me. Kittens and rainbows. Wait, I lost. Hold on. I should just read this whole article. I'm like, here I am, live, and I don't. They're 1/3 of picking the right doors, and there's a 2/3 chance of being wrong. When somebody opens the door you didn't select now has a 2/3 chance of being right. So just always switch. Yeah. Okay. P of A, but probably the prize is behind door A, and he opened door C. Or P of C A is probably opens door C given. Oh, okay. Oh. So actually, that's not what I'm looking for. All right, hold on. So the probability that Yeah, the probability that you switch shouldn't change if you want. Okay. So it's x times p of a. Yeah, I think the way that this would work is like I'm going to pick door A. He's going to reveal door C. No, no. I'm going to pick door A. I'm trying to use the A and the B as labels for the doors here, which I think might help. And he reveals door C. Look at this. Is there a... He opened door C. Can I get an open door B since I wrote it out that way? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to pick door A. He opens door B. Okay? I'm going to have to redo this. He opens door B. So what's the probability that A wins given he opened door B? So the probability he opens door B is 1 out of 2 because there's only 2 doors he can open. The probability, the original prior probability of A winning is 1/3. And the probability of, what's this? So that's the one I'm not sure about. That's also 1/2 because probability he opens door B given the prize is behind A. Ah, okay, great. Let's consider, so to understand this now, okay. So going back to what we're trying to determine, let's consider the doors as labeled A, B, and C. I guess I should really put those up there because I want to do the math below it. Sorry. To tie this all together, so then to tie the Monty Hall problem into this formula, let's actually label the doors A, B, and C. Let's consider the scenario where I pick door number A. It's not a number. Let's consider the scenario where I pick door A. What is the probability that A, okay. Ah, yeah, I got it. Actually, I should do door C because then the probability that A wins given, let's do it that way. And it's a little bit more confusing. Let's consider the scenario where I pick door C. That's my starting pick. Monty Hall reveals what's behind door B. What is the probability that A is the winner given Monty Hall revealed door B? All right, let's do the easy parts first. The prior probability of any given door being the winner. Oh, is this not going to work out? Oh, wait, I've screwed this up. because I want to get the 2/3 one. I want to get the 2/3 one. So in the 2/3 one, the probability of B being picked, probability of A being the winner is 1/3. And the probability of C being, probability of A of B being revealed is 1/2, right? And then, oh, right. What is the probability of, I had this in my head then, I realized. Hold on. I think maybe actually I need to stop reading that and just think this through for a second. So the prior probability that A is the winner is 1/3. The prior probability that Monty Hall picks B, given that it picks B out of these two to show, is 1/2. What is the probability that, this is what I'm lost at. What is, I had it when I was picking A and I was going to calculate the probability of A is 1/3. Because, yeah, see, it's simpler if I do this because, but I should be able to get the inverse. Like if I had picked A, the probability that B is the winner, no, hold on. Ah! I'm so close to my brain locking into this. You put a link to another chat that gives the probabilities in live chat. I don't have that open right now, but I can open it. Sorry, I'm just looking at my messages. Where's Discord here? Just pulling this up. All right, I'm pulling up this. Yeah, these are all the ways that I am describing it. Bayes' theorem, okay. I'll show you what I'm looking at now. Thank you. Okay. Here's the Bayes solution. Probability of A, there's a 1/3 chance that the car is behind door number 1. Yep. There are 2 doors left, and each has a 1/2 chance of being chosen. The probability of event B given A. Yeah, I know how to get the 1/3. I was trying to get the 2/3. So let's consider that you choose door number 1. Monty shows you a goat behind door 2. Okay, let A be the car is behind door number 1. Let B be that Monty opens up door 2 to show the goat. Right, I should just do it that way. Let's assume you pick door number 1. A is, there's a 1/3 chance of behind door number 1. Great. Yeah, I'm going to do it this way. Like, I really have to go, and like, this is going to make my life easier. So, Okay. So Monty shows you a goat behind door 2. If the car is behind door... Okay, hold on. A, B, that the car is behind door number 1. Right. That's 1/3. B is the event that Monty opens up door 2 to show the goat. So, I see. If it's behind... Got it. I've got if right. If it's so you picked A. Actually, it doesn't really right? It's 100%. No. Okay, hold on. It actually I can do it with the picking C. Because if you pick C and the goat is behind A, it's 100% that Monty Hall has to reveal B. If you pick A and the goat is and the prize is behind A, then it's 50% that you pick B because he can pick B or C. The probability of B that's what I'm confused about. Let's go look here. So let's look at this. Probably B in the denominator is a little trickier to figure out. You choose door 1. Monty shows you a goat behind door 2. Right below sneak peek in supporter. I mean, that must have been where I looked. I'm just trying not to show Discord in the live stream. I don't think it really matters, but yeah. Did you put something in sneak peek? No. No. It's in live chat. That's where I looked. Okay. What's the bottom probability? Hold on. I kind of want to look now back. Now that I got that, I wanted to look at this. 1/2. I got this. This is 1/3 and this is 1. Why is the probability of C? All right, let's go to this one. Let's see what this says here. I just don't understand what it even is, the probability of B. So remember, I just said, and let me do the wide shot so I can go back and forth without changing the camera. 1/3. If it is behind the probability of picking B, okay, got it. If I pick C, this is the probability that it's, hold on. All right, I pick C. The prior probability that it's A is just 1/3. The probability that he reveals B, if it's A, is 100%. The prior probability that he reveals B independently is just 1 out of 2 because we don't know the information that it's under A. Right? I think that's as simple as that. Right? If I pick C, the probability of him showing B is 50%. But if I know it's under A, then it's 100%. I think that's it, right? Right? I think that's it. I'm trying to do, the thing is I did all of the sort of like working out the probabilities without Bayes' formula earlier at the beginning. So I'm just trying to do it this way. Okay. I forgot where I was. So I think I'm just going to erase this to go all the way back. Okay. Let me just clean this a little bit better. Okay, so close to being done. So close to being done. Okay. Okay. Let's tie. So how to tie the Monty Hall problem to this formula with the I mean, I wish I took too long in between. I have no sense of the continuity here, but in order to tie, now I'd like to try to tie this formula to the Monty Hall problem. So what I'm actually going to do is now I'd like to try to tie this formula to the Monty Hall problem itself. Let's create the three doors and actually label them A, B, and C. So I'm going to start by picking door C. Monty Hall is going to reveal door B. What is the probability then that I win if I switch to A? Given the event that Monty Hall reveals door B, what is the probability that A is the winner? What is the probability that A is the winner? That is what this part of the formula is describing. Now we just need to figure out each of these three components. Well, let's start with the easiest one first. The prior probability, just given nothing, no information whatsoever, that the winner, the prize, is under door A is 1 out of 3. Now, P of B. B is the event that Monty Hall reveals door B. What is the probability that Monty Hall will reveal door B if the prize is under A? Well, that's 100%. 100%. Because if I picked C and the prize is under A, Monty Hall has to show door B. So that's 100% or 1. Now we've got a slightly trickier one. Given no information, what's the probability that Monty Hall reveals door B? So I've picked C, but I don't know. The prize is not necessarily under A. We don't have that prior information. So the probability that Monty Hall reveals door B in this case is just a flip of a coin, 50%. Maybe it's going to be A, maybe it's going to be B. We don't have any information to tell us one or the other. So now, 1 times 1/3 divided by 1/2, guess what that is? 2/3. And so we've done it. The probability that the winner is under A, given that I picked C, that B was revealed, is 2 out of 3. You will win. And by the way, and so we're done. Now, no. The probability that the winner is under A, if Monty Hall's picked, the probability that the winner is in A, if I picked C and Monty Hall revealed B, is 67%. And even though I just started with this particular scenario, we could work this out with all scenarios, whether I'm starting with picking A and Monty Hall reveals C, or I could switch this up and actually say, what if, I don't think I need to go. I don't think I need to go any further with this. There's so much more to say about it, but I just wanted to get this video over with. And we're done. The probability that the winner is A, if I started with C, that A is the winner given Monty Hall revealing B, is 2 out of 3. We could rework the scenario any way we want. We could actually also work out, by the way, the math for what the probability would be for the winner to be under C. Given Monty Hall. I just need to stop. There's a lot more to be said about this kind of probability analysis. I will include some excellent references to Bayes' theorem and the Monty Hall problem in the video's description if you want to take a look at those. There we go. Thank you, everybody, for your patience. Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't looking at the chat. And I can't believe this has been going on for 3 hours now, so I need to stop. So I'm just going to assume I'm going to make a version of this that, if anyone wants to help me with this, by the way, it would be super helpful. I want to make a version of this that just plays it infinitely over and over again. We see the numbers adding up, which is what I'll put behind me now. So I hope you enjoy. Oh, yeah. Oh, I didn't do the thing where I actually. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks, DJ Mangus. That's a nice comment there. I just want to figure out what I'm saying here. Thanks for tuning into this coding challenge. I'll be curious to see what kind of project you might be able to make from this. I mean, first of all, a thing that I didn't do, which would be great, is just make this work flexibly. Like, what if I had a variable, which is the total number of doors? So you could start with 5 doors or 10 doors. How many doors does Monty Hall reveal? All of them, except for 1? All of them except for 2? There's some creative possibilities there. Not to mention what is the story here. Not to mention all the things you could add in terms of animation and sound and making this fun and game show-like. So make your own version of it, share it with me, and I will see you next time on the coding train. So board the train, make your own creative version of this, share it with me, and I will see you next time on the coding train. Thank you, DJ Mangus. Yeah, it's going to be a while. We're working on it. We're working on it, Simon. Okay. All right, I'm going to wrap this up one more time. So that wraps things up. There's so much more that can be done with this in terms of animation and sound and how you're displaying all the various. So this wraps up. So I'm going to wrap this up now. There's so much more that could be done in terms of animation and sound and how all of the numbers and probabilities and outcomes are being displayed and graphed and visualized. I hope you'll make your own version of this. One thing that I really missed that would be fun to try is, could you make the number of doors a variable? So if you suddenly you have a version of this with 10 doors or 100 doors. And how many doors are revealed? Oh, so many possibilities. Board the train, make your own creative twist on this, share it with me, and I will see you next time. Goodbye. Where's that train whistle? Okay, I gotta go. Uh, Stop recording. I got a text. Um, Sorry, I'm just. All right, I've really got to run because. So the goal is to have this video out on Wednesday. Yikes! But I don't think, even though this took me 3 hours, I think this is like not that long. I mean, remember, like if my 9 hours is translating into but like an hour and a half, this is a third of that. So I don't think this is more than a half an hour. We will see. Thank you for all those of you who are subscribing. I just gotta kind of run out of here. For any of you who want to help make some of these versions of it that I could actually show in the video, that's kind of got to happen by tomorrow. I mean, I'm gonna start working on this tonight and maybe tomorrow morning if I can. If you're in the supporter channels, that's where we generally tend to discuss this. DJ Mangus, I don't know if you are. I'm not going to push this to GitHub because what I will do is, sorry, just hold on a second because I've got Discord open here and I've just got to do something. But DJ Mangus, if you want to tag me or get in touch, you can friend request me in Discord, and that's a good way also to message that way. Just make sure if your Discord name is something unrecognizable, let me know. Okay, hold on. I'm here now. So this is the Discord, ! Discord will give you the link to join. I'm putting in the link to the sketch there. I got to message Mathieu. I got to upload these files so he can get going editing. And then, yeah, see you all later. I'm gonna leave this open for a second just by playing this music and putting the outro animation on while I'm uploading the files. But my mic is on and I'm taking a peek of the chat. Yeah, D Mangus, great. I will look for you there. All right, so I'm here if you have anything you still want to say. And I'm just going to be uploading these files now. And messaging Mathieu. I didn't make any mention of Survivor. I don't know if that matters, if I should have. Okay, hold on, looking for this. New folder. What's today's date? May 8th. Monty Hall. Then I just need the files from May 8th, which are 3 of them. Okay, I'm just checking the chat. Oh, it doesn't say I'm taking. You should be able to friend request, but we'll figure it out. Don't worry. Okay, just tag me. We'll figure it out. It might be a little bit because I got to rush and figure things out. Yeah. K-Fine is asking a great question. It was maybe a little bit unwise. The timing was perfect because we did all these Mother's Day celebrations this morning, and then there's some other stuff going on, and I had a nice break. But I kind of took too long. So I got to get back and get dinner figured out because I feel like maybe I shouldn't saddle my wife with having to figure out just dinner on the fly. But we did a whole nice Mother's Day thing already. So that's why I got to rush. The code is just on, it's in Discord under links. You'll find it. Okay, I'm going to run DJ Mangus and anybody else who's trying to message me. I might not see those messages for a few hours. So if I don't respond immediately, don't worry. But if it's tomorrow morning you didn't hear from me, like try to bug me again. Okay. All right. See you all. I'm going to shut this down, hit stop on the stream now. Okay. Goodbye. Oh, should we raid? Hold on. Let's just see if we can. I mean, I don't know if we should bother raiding anybody, but let me quickly check. It's always a nice thing to do. Okay. So I'm going to open up my Twitch dashboard here. And it's amazing, the goat-related raid. I would love that, but I don't know. We can raid Freya, who's doing Dungeons and Dragons. How do people feel about that? Let's see. I guess I could try to figure out Mary's Milk Monsters. Taking a goat for a walk. All right, let's do that. That seems like fun. Okay, everybody, we're gonna raid Mary's Milk Monsters. Be nice, be kind, be friendly, and enjoy. See you all. Okay, now I'm really heading out of here.